Today we're going to carve a log into a bench for a local art gallery. Now this log had quite a few cracks, and so we filled them with basic tile grout. This mulberry tree fell over in a recent storm, so I just used a reciprocating saw and my 40-volt electric chainsaw to chop it all up. The tree was dead already and the wood was fairly dry, and I was able to carve out some nice logs about 18 to 14 inches in diameter. We're currently working on a renovation of a small art gallery out here in Joshua Tree, and they want a bench in the middle of the gallery for sitting and contemplating the art. So I decided to go with a sculptural approach and round over both ends of the log. Electric chainsaws have come a long way, and cutting this up was no problem at all. I basically treated it like a double-ended pencil and just sharpened either end. Shout out to all the people on Instagram that gave me suggestions for safety gear. I actually got a pair of chaps that just snap right on and protect my legs. Once I got the proportions right, I switched to an angle grinder with this power carving disc. This thing is very efficient for roughing out a shape in solid wood, and I really like it because it saves me a ton of flap discs. With the angle grinder, I'm able to smooth out the facets, but because the disc is so aggressive, it's easy to overcarve slight divots into the surface. Which is why once I had the shape the way I wanted, I switched to a belt sander with a super aggressive 36 grit sanding belt. I used the belt sander to smooth out the power carving lines that were created by the angle grinder. I then switched to an orbital sander with 80 grit sanding pads, which allowed me to clean up any more imperfections as I worked my way up to 150 grit. This log had some pretty substantial cracks, and they were kind of hairy and splintery. I used a carving bit on my rotary tool to just clean out the cracks and remove some of those splinters. I have been using tile grout to fill in cracks in wood for quite some time. I really like it because it's way cheaper than epoxy, it's easier just to push in and you don't need to tape off as many places, and as a material, it's stain resistant, comes in a variety of colors, and if you're using a synthetic grout like Fusion Pro, it actually has a good amount of flex to it, which keeps it from cracking and falling out. So even if this log dries out and changes shape a little bit, I'm confident the grout is going to stay in its place. I used a putty knife to apply the grout and then a big sponge to wash off the excess and recess the grout just beneath the wood surface. Once everything had fully dried, I gave the log a final sanding with 220 grit sandpaper. I wiped away all the dust and then applied a thick coat of Maker brand Simple Finish. This is an oil and wax plant-based wood finish, and it's really easy to apply and looks fantastic. I applied a heavy coat, let it sit for 15 minutes, and then used a clean rag to rub out the excess. Now before I show you how I built the base for this bench, let's hear a word from the sponsor for this video. This video is sponsored by HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get fresh, pre-proportioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. I like HelloFresh because it helps me achieve my goals. With calorie-smart and carb-smart recipes, I can indulge in delicious meals without the worries. HelloFresh's recipes are delicious. Shane and I really enjoy these sweet chili pork bowls with bell peppers and candied peanuts. HelloFresh offers a variety of different recipes each week to help you break away from a recipe rut. It also saves time, not just from shopping, but they offer a variety of quick and easy recipes, including 20-minute meals with easy cleanup and low prep options. I also like that HelloFresh lets me eat a little bit more sustainably with pre-proportioned ingredients, which means less wasted food. And the packaging HelloFresh uses to ship your food is already recycled content. So go to HelloFresh.com and use code HOMEMADE16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. That's HelloFresh.com and use code HOMEMADE16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. All right, back to the build. The log can just sit on the ground by itself, but we wanted it a little bit higher so that it would serve better as a bench. So I cut up some 1/8 inch thick plate steel that I had left over from the container house and welded an 18 inch long base. Now most of the mass of the log is in the center, so I don't mind a little bit of an overhang. It's plenty stable even when somebody sits near the end. It only took me about 35-40 minutes to cut the pieces and weld them together, and then I coated everything with 2 coats of Krylon Fusion all-in-one spray paint in flat white. The log weighs about 180 pounds, and now that it's smooth, it can be a little slippery when you're trying to carry it. The base works, but I'm not entirely convinced this is the best aesthetic option. So I may revisit the base design in the future. I also used a slice of this tree to make a 3-legged stool that I also filled in with grout. I followed basically the same process, but I did put it in the oven for about 4 hours at 220 degrees, periodically opening the oven to vent the moisture that was getting baked out of the slice. Stools and benches are pretty basic applications for power carving log type furniture. And we have quite a bit of tree left, so I think with the remaining pieces I want to do something a little more unusual. So if you got any suggestions, be sure to hit me up in the comment section below. The first pieces that we ever made combining wood and grout are about 3 to 4 years old now and are still holding up really well. So I know there's a lot of skepticism for these types of novel applications, but this isn't our first rodeo. We've done this for a long time, and we still haven't seen any problems with the first applications. And don't get me wrong, I really like epoxy for a lot of applications, but it is pricey, and I'm not the best at it. So in my experience, I've had a lot of kind of messy situations where I didn't perfectly seal the molds. I've also worked a lot with concrete, which is another great material, but also has some limitations. Grout is somewhere kind of in between the two, and I really just like the flexibility of being able to get a tub of it and then just apply it with a putty knife wherever I need it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our other videos, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thanks!